All right, a very good day, a very good morning to wherever you are in the world. This is Rugen Trades episode number 55. I'm going to talk about, in today's video, I'm going to talk about RHB's top 20 jewel companies. Now, every year, RHB has been diligently coming up with a list of 20 companies which they believe are the jewels in their definition. They've got a list not only in Malaysia, but I think in Indonesia as well, and not sure, probably Singapore. So this list is particularly for 20 stocks in the Bursa Stock Exchange here in Malaysia. And you can see the list of 20. I'm going to go through one by one through the charts. And before I do that, a quick disclaimer. Well, please be reminded that this is all just personal sharing. These are my personal views. It reflects my observation, and this is by no means a recommendation to buy or sell. This is not professional trading advice nor financial advice. So do your own research and seek other professional license personnel outside to guide you in your trading and investment journey. Now, with that out of the way, why would you want to listen to me? Just give me 1 minute. I am Rugen Trades, a professional swing trader, part-time, I would say. I'm part-time, and the goal is to be full-time in probably around 5 to 7 years. That is the timeline I'm giving myself, because my current employment, which I've been working now for 30 years in the corporate space, the package that I'm getting, it's too comfortable and too how would you say, it's basically sufficient for me to live my current lifestyle, and I have to slowly build a new income stream through trading, so that when the time comes, I'm ready to just switch over and do trading as my full-time job. Now, very important, before you listen to what I have to say for the 20 stocks, my trading time period, holding time period, is 2 weeks to months. So I'm not a short-term trader anymore. I used to be. I'm not scalping, I'm not day trading, I'm not even swing trading within days. I'm holding within weeks to months, and I focus mainly on the US stock market and also Bursa here in Malaysia. Now, with that all out of the way, let's get on with the meat of the day. So I've created, in my trading view, I've added this 20 stocks on the RHB jewel list. I'm going to go through one by one, and I'm just going to talk through what I see and whether I think, for me personally, based on my criteria, based on my view of the price action, whether it is a buy, sell, or hold for myself. Now, of course, as I mentioned, please do your own research. My views could be totally wrong. So let's get on with it. Dufu. Now, Dufu, if you followed my previous video, I have a position on Dufu. So there's full disclaimer. I have a position. I entered around 175. That's my average price, which is around here. And yep. Let's see. So now I'm going to talk about Dufu in a different. Let me change my view. So this is my custom indicator. Please watch my earlier video about this indicator. Now, as I mentioned earlier on in my other videos, this indicator, basically it is a bit of art to it as well, as to what time period I'm going to select. My trading is now very much simplified. I don't have fancy indicators, moving averages. I don't have Fibonacci. I don't have things that I used to look at, RSI. I don't look at volume. I don't look at any of that. I just look at price. So for Dufu, what my indicator is highlighting is the highest price in the 5-year range. So where's the 5-year range? It started here on 8 June 2021 to 3rd June 2026. So this was the high, at 482 and the low at 89 cents. So basically it's taken this price range and basically have drawn 4 quadrants. So the first at the middle here is what I call the balance point, and this, my friends, are where price would eventually try to move back towards to. And you see it takes a couple of years. That's why now I'm just, to suit my employment, my full-time employment, I do swing trading because I don't really have to look at the charts every other day. I can look at it every week. And look at it, a couple of years, it came down all the way here from 482 to 89. And the midpoint now is 286. So when the price beginning to change, what we call the change of character or the change in market structure, it is beginning to make what we call higher highs and higher lows. And that's where I'm entered a position here. Now last week was an interesting one. Although it was a black candle, means a down candle, price is still pretty much on a bullish run. Of course, we won't know whether it will want to come back down all the way here before it moves up again. But generally for me, Dufu is a buy based on the data that we see, based on the price action that we see right here. It's as simple as that. So the target is at least here, the 50% mark, 286. Of course, when you talk about trading, you always have to look at your risk reward. If you're targeting here, your stop will be somewhere just below this 124 region. Let's move on to ICT Zone. Now ICT Zone, look at that. I personally, just looking at this, I wouldn't trade this stock. There's some data here and not much trading until June of 2025. Suddenly price just gapped down here and has been consolidating. Now although in my chart here you see it as its price is at deep discount, for me, well, maybe not so much interested due to the nature of price action. There's not much trading, none at all actually. Looks at it and suddenly there's an interest. So I think this will be more of a high risk. But having said that, one of the things I learned is that after price consolidation, there likely will be a move up to either up or down. But in this case, let me just switch over to a shorter time frame. Yep, if you just look at the 1 year period, it's still at the discount. Yeah, I'm not interested in this. It's just not much data for me based on my trading style. Let's move on to CPE technology. Reminder again, I'm looking at weekly charts. I never look at daily even because my time frame is longer. And based on this, I would probably want to change this to 24 months. And if 24 months, we're looking at, you see how price eventually tells us that this is the midpoint. And you see, even though we do not, at this price in 2024, you do not know it will come down to this low of 33 cents in 2026 April. But price making this, hitting these levels, somehow makes me wonder that this was already pre-scripted to be the midpoint, and eventually price will have to come down here to confirm that this is the midpoint, and now it's basically trying to move back up here and potentially to the premium or deep premium and even to all-time highs. Now the only thing I would want to caution this is, if you look at how much it has moved since April this year. It has gone up in 9 weeks or 65 days. It has gone up 130%. So even if you are a bull, even if you would like to buy in, I would probably be more cautious. Even though the price is at discount, wait for a bit of a pullback before you get in, because the range here is just too big of a move to just suddenly. It could easily continue on, but looking at risk reward, I would wait. But definitely something I would want to add to my watch list. So let me see, I would add a note here. Watch for pullback to 71.5. Yep. So that is that. Let's move on to ISF. So this one looks like it was just listed in January this year, so I would have to change. Well, I don't think we'll see anything on the 6 months even though, right? Yep. We have to change it to probably a 3 months. I usually don't trade if there is not much prior year data, so this one I will just probably skip. But if you just look at the opening price here, price open here at 50 cents. On the first week of trading, it went up to 56 and it made a low of 35. So for now, looks like the midpoint is at 48. So price is a deep premium and not enough data, so I'll probably skip this. Kobay, wow, this one I remember this because at one point this was the darling of high risk stocks, I would say. Look at, well, because it went up from 79 cents all the way to almost 661. So if I were to put a 5-year look back period, okay, let's look at this. So if I'm looking at 5 years, this is the high low and this is the balance point. So you just keep it simple. Price is now at a discount. Now whether price is ready to move, it look like a possibility because of the, first of all, the long consolidation here and the change of market, change of character of the market is, and the only thing that is a caution probably now is that it is at a point where there is some liquidity here. This looks like probably a valid midpoint, and this looks like also, if you want to put to a shorter time frame, let's say 2 years, does it work? Yeah, let's look at 2 years. Even at the 2 year, you can look at how it was maybe already pre-scripted that this is your midpoint. And if price came down to here, would be a deep discount. It was a time to buy for a upside. And this, although it doesn't look much, probably you can just use this. It has gone up 86%. So the lesson learned and reminder for myself is that you don't have to rush an entry. Always wait for a discount or deep discount for putting a position. So coming back to this, It is interesting. If it goes up to 281, whether it will come back to pull back, I don't know. I'm not a fortune teller, but what I would do is I'll add a note. If price breaks 281, the bull case is valid. Then I think after that it's just more of your risk reward, whether how much of a risk you want to take to enter at a breakout. If you like breakout, personally I'm not too into breakouts. I'd rather it come back down to somewhere around 220 probably. 220 would be a better entry. Yep. Ooh, what happened to my notes? Wait. 220 would be a better entry. Add. Yep. Okay, let's move along. Powerwell. Oh, this is a 5-year look back period, and you see, once you see this, it's really hard to unsee the balance point, 49 cents, right on the dot. Would I enter now? Probably not, because number one is deep premium, and if you just want to at least know how much it has gone up, even from the midpoint, 68%. And my version of the Three Little Indians, this is the first, second, so third. So based on my trading style, if it's on the third wave, then probably maybe a bit too late to enter right now. There could be upside until 1, because it is price would also tend to gravitate towards big round numbers, and 1 could be the eventual target. But to me, the risk reward is just too imbalanced right now, buying at deep premium. So I'll skip this. JatiTinggi, probably 18 months. Does it work? Yeah. JatiTinggi right now, price is just below the midpoint, which is still a discount, but I would probably not enter a trade right now. And the main reason is the market structure currently is just at the creating lower highs and lower lows. So if you're a bit more patient, price could come back to the 40-cent level, and then you monitor from there. Wait for price to go down to 40-cent levels. Great. Okay, let's move along. KeeMing Group Berhad. What is this? When did they list? February this year, so we can use a 3-month. So since this is a relatively new stock, I would probably give this a pass. Not much data for me to work on, and now it's a deep premium. Of course, even a deep premium doesn't mean that it won't continue to go up, so I've got no idea where this will be going. DLady, let's work this space on 5 years. Does it work? Ooh, interesting. Look, ooh, okay, I haven't seen this chart. So looks like the new range. Now there's a reason why I don't take from here high to this low, because market tends to move in ranges. So previously it was probably here to here would be the range. This was the midpoint earlier at this range. And if you are trading right now, you shouldn't be referring to the top there. I would think a 5-year look back period that we are using currently would be good enough. Price is at a premium. Yeah, I think just mainly based on the price at 33, I wouldn't even consider putting in the trade, so I'll just skip that. Live water, okay, this one 18 months. Okay, interesting. So price is at a premium right now, and well, this price level seems to be a support. Now let's see how price moves right now. At the moment, I'm just probably 50-50. Probably will not make a trade unless I see a different price movement. Would be interested if price hits discount and shows that buyers are in control. Okay, so this is something I will look at. Pantech Global. Let's see, 1 year, does it work? Not really. Sorry, 18 months. There's no data. That's fine. I will just use this. Yeah, price is at the dude. Why is it calling a dip discount? Price is at the discount. I think I just have to turn this off. Price is at a discount currently. I wouldn't trade this. Not much data for me to work on. But if price continue to hold above probably this level 42.5, well, it could see some upside. Probably. I don't know. I'm just not much comment on this. Ooh, this is interesting. TMK. 1 year. Yeah. Price at deep premium, and it just took out this level right here at 202. So risk reward wise, I have probably not in my alleyway. I will skip this. Orkim. Not much data. Too risky probably at this point. Verdant Solar. Does it work for 1 year? Nope. Let's just do this. Yeah, this is the midpoint here at 28 cents. I wouldn't look at this. Not enough data. MCE Holdings. Looks like something that I can... 2 years, 5 years. Yep. Interesting. At the 5 years, the balance point is clear at 130, so now it's at premium. But I suspect based on this kind of price movement, it is now trading in a new range from... So this would be my new point of interest. I will quickly move to 3 years. Does it make sense? Yeah, probably. Interesting. Our price has been just struggling to go to all-time highs. It attempted right here but failed. So I would be more patient to wait rather than to rush. So 116 would be an interesting price to enter. Okay, last 5. Optimax. Optimax, I think you should have 5 years data. Let me use a manual. Yeah, I'll use a manual one instead. So my midpoint is 62.5 or 63, sorry. And you see how price has been just respecting this 63 most of the time. So now price is at a discount. Probably now it's still at the consolidation stage. Worthwhile to have a look. Let's see in terms of waves, where are we? I mean, this is 1, 2. Wow, if you are a market maker, you probably want to take out some of these sell stops before you push price higher. So I would wait. I will wait until price comes to 46. Better entry at below 50 cents. Moving along, we've got WellChip. I think I talked about this in my previous video. 2 videos ago. Was it 24 months? No, 18 months. Yes. I talked about the waves 1, 2, so probably expecting price to come back down somewhere here at the discount, near deep discount, before I would even consider. So price at 120 to 125 for potential entry. Let's move on. Let's update this. I think we can do 5 years. 5 years, this is the midpoint. Look at that price. Have actually used this and used this now as support. So now it's at deep premium. It is probably starting a new range. It looks like it, doesn't it? I would probably want to update this way. So no matter how you look at it, well, it's a deep premium, so I'll just skip. I'm just not a fan of buying to look for all-time highs. I don't have a target to hit to, so I will skip that. Crescendo, personally, I don't think I like this chart, mainly because we are still at the premium. There's a lot of price that is not taken back right here, so I will be a bit more careful, because first of all, there was a change in the market structure. You've got lower highs and lower lows, so this could be just a bit too high risk for me, so I'll skip that. And finally, we've got ReachTen 1 year, yeah, just about there. Not much data, I'll just skip this. So these are the 20 stocks. So I've just run through. This is my Sunday morning here on the 7th of June, looking at the 20 stocks covered by RHB. So these are the 20 stocks that I've just run through, chart by chart, just going through my thoughts. So again, I hope you find this video helpful. I hope this helps you in your trading and investment journey. As always, I just ask for a little help in promoting my channel by subscribing to it, giving it a like, so that the YouTube algorithm can help it reach out to more viewers. With that, I hope you all have a great trading week ahead and months ahead. Thank you and see you again. Goodbye.